because I think that's thrown around.
A lot of guys run out there and they try to get the thing that's the finest.
Yep.
A lot of guys run out there and a lot of the foundation of their relationship is based off of sex.
Yep. Like I said, everything to do.
Like they don't have anything to stand on once they start to have conversations about things that's much deeper than what's on the surface.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you realize that you're unequally yoked, but you've already started to join in together as though you were married by doing things that married people do.
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing that I think that is nuanced in a conversation, is that we're not talking about being equally yoked, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times we say that guys are supposed to take on something that's not for them for the sake of saving a woman from herself. That's not.
And see, he keep what I don't like, man, is he keep acting like the man is always coming to save the woman. He keep acting like the man is always coming to save the woman. I know he probably meet people who got a little money. I don't know. But I know the majority of women is out here saving these men. Majority of women are the one working. Now, I've been traveling over the U.S., you know what I'm saying, over the years. Especially recently, I've been doing a little, you know what I'm saying, I've been doing extra traveling stuff, just shopping and going to a lot of places and stuff. And I'm barely seeing men that working in stores, man. So I'm trying to see, but I know a lot of men, we rappers, or we content creators, or we day traders. But men are not saving women. You're not y'all. A woman ain't looking for you. You got these. I know a woman. You hear this one time make 6 figures enough, but a lot of women don't even know they don't even know how to add 6 figures. So they just stating what they hear. But the average woman, they not gonna care that much. Especially if they not all boozy, they not gonna care. They don't even know what 6 figures look like. If you make $65,000 a year, they wouldn't know the difference between 6 figures and 6,000, 65,000. Most people, because you don't make it yourself. But let me get back in there.
Not his purpose. That may not even be his wife. But a lot of times we incentivize men to do so because we hearken unto the voices of women and what they want. That's not what we are supposed to do. When it comes to the whole idea of your wife.
Yeah, it's not what you're supposed to do if you're a Christian man. But most of these men out here, you believe in a God, but you think you are God. So you can't listen. You can honk to every voice you want to if you're not Christian. A lot of the rules he talk about apply to Christian folks, but all folks ain't Christian and don't believe in Jesus Christ and God. So all rules don't apply to people who don't. If your God is somebody else,
I believe that women often at times skip over the men that they were supposed to marry, and then they try to have a redemption arc.
And see, what I hate is he keeps saying women. Women skip over. And like I say, man, women ain't the one to skip over. It's the men that have had kids or they done been with plenty of women that they could have married. But because they think the world is they buffet and they can try everything, then they passing over woman. Now this one, they made him have a kid by the woman. And they like, well, I'm done with that. I'm ready to go to the next. That's the problem. You keep talking about what I hate is you keep talking about these women. These women, they live with they got the kid of their mistake. But it's time for these men to step up. And if you mess with a woman, don't stop doing all this buffet tasting. Settle down find you a good woman. Settle down, be disciplined, stop running these streets. And build wealth, my brother. That's what you do. Don't let these men, just because a woman had kids, that don't mean she ain't good. You never know, like I said, because my wife is a good woman. And guess what? Them kids don't live in the house forever. And if Kamala Harris get up in there, no matter what. Let me get back to it.
I believe that men often at times, they ignore the women that is supposed to be for them.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy focused on these women for the streets.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that a lot of times your wife or the person that you're supposed to be with, and we talk about guys that's in the friend zone and stuff a lot of times, but you're supposed to marry your best friend.
Yeah.
That's the person that has your best. That's the person that has your best interests at heart. That's the person that wants the best for you. That's the person that absolutely is going to be there through thick and thin. And all of the vows that you're going to take, they're already living it. They're a reflection.
And I can say, man, I'm here 20 years. I mean, going on 20. I've been my wife. We've been together. We've been together 21 years. We met when I was 19. So I mean, I've been married for 18 years, going on 19. And I can say it's because friendship that hold us to this day. And it's going to be our friendship that keep the glue together. So you develop that friendship, man. Find a woman, a good woman, whether she got kids or not, man. Kids don't make or break a woman, man. You do. The man is the only thing that make or break a woman. Kids don't make or break a woman, man. I see y'all people kids are the only thing that make or break a woman and make a woman less value. Kids may make her less affordable for you, but she's not less valuable. She's just as valuable as the day she was before, but just got more bags with her. And that's what God say too. Who without sin be the first one to cast the stone. We all got sin, man. Like one got about 3 kids, and you committing sin 4-5 times a day. God said sin is a sin. I don't think what them kids is that she got to keep looking at it for 18 years or for the rest of her life, because that's the sin she committed. From her sin gave birth to a child. But she's no different than anybody else to sin. We all sin. We all fall short. And if you think that you better than somebody else because your sin don't look like theirs, then you got life all messed up, and you surely can't be a child of God.
Of it. But so many times we're incentivized by the things that's around us, influenced by the things that's around us, especially when we have a young mind, and your mind is not even fully developed until you got a
one-sided. Not only young, sometimes you can have a young mind and you have a one-sided mind where you only see things through the lens that you grew up in, or you don't see things in what your perspective of this. Check out our videos, man. We did a video with the elephant in the room, learn a different relationship perspective. You might see the video with the 3 elephants up. Check out that video, man.
20s. And so a lot of times we used to depend on our culture, we used to depend on our family to help us vet and see things that we couldn't see. But now we're choosing for ourselves. So I don't believe in dating. Yeah. I believe that dating is just the gateway for you to find yourself in situations that you're not supposed to be in. Yeah. And I believe that you know your wife very, very early. And a lot of times we skip over the person that we're supposed to be with.
So, you know.
And I knew my wife was my wife, but she had 5 kids and all, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I'm not no taking man. I don't come in the relationship like, dang, what's she gonna do for me? Is she gonna put me second with all them kids and stuff? What the world? I mean, I ain't come. I'm not a man. Most men or real men don't come into a relationship trying to be takers. We givers. We builders, man. Naturally, we want to work. We work with the things we got in nature. That's what men do. Woman cultivates, but men build. We start boiled and molded, and that's what men do. That's what we were born to do. So I'm not looking for no. And see, that's why women get with a man, and he a build-a-bear. A build-a-bear, man, because they come inside a relationship, they little mama's boys. And like I said in my little short video and the other little videos, that's why most men don't want to mess with women with kids, because they mama's boys. They selfish men that just want the woman all to themselves. They want her to be all committed to them and stuff, and folding their clothes and doing things that mama did before they left the house. That's why men don't want to mess with single moms, and they don't want to pay for nobody else's food besides themselves. That's it. Selfish person, and I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with a man like that no way, because he telling you who he are. Believe them. When you see red flags in a relationship, or when you're talking to people, take their red flags for what it is, and believe them.
You know what? I get context now. This is why you brought up. So I think this is a difference here, because you actually stated when you went to Angela Yee, the young lady was stating, because a lot of women ask this question too. They're like, look, I want to date multiple men. Mm-hmm. That's like a big thing. They want to date multiple men.
This is a sister saying she's already dated. I said, look.
Kamala Harris took on the big bank.
Had that sex. Once you start sleeping with the person, that gets involved, it clouds your judgment. So if you're gonna date multiple people, don't have sex. Don't have sex with none of them until you're married. Because once you have sex, it messes up things. It'll lose your mind. And God said it's the worst sin of all. And from fornications open up the door from everything else to stem from. So if all the sins we must sustain from and have self-control of it is fornication, having sex outside of marriage. Only way you have sex is in marriage. That's why you best to God say, I mean, Antoine is right. It is best to get married so you won't be sinning against the flesh, which is sexual sin, fornication. So get married. If you are to urge and to be with a person of the opposite sex, then get married, get disciplined, and don't be out here having sex with everybody. Only with the one you're married to.
Until you find what's for you. I didn't say sleep with them all.
Yeah.
I didn't say cook for them all. I didn't say do no wifely duties.
But you said you didn't believe in dating.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. This is a woman that asked me a question.
I know. I seen it.
Right. She said, I'm already dating 3 men. Date them all until you find what's good for you. So now, if you're already having sex, stop.
Yeah.
I tell one more time.
Don't have.
You're being a wife to a man that doesn't even deserve that.
You got to make that man work for it, man. The more that man work for it, the better he gonna value. And work for it means until you married. Make him work for it. And I know, guys, we got to realize nothing in life is gonna be easy for you, man. Good things don't happen because they came easy. If you want something good, you got to work for it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. The best things in life going to be hard. The best things going to come around your life going to be hard. You're like, whoa, that was hard. But look at me now. Whoa. If it come easy, like Les Brown says, if you can do what is easy, life will be hard. If you do what is hard, life will be easy. Marriage is hard, man. It's hard being committed to one person, man. It's the hardest thing you're going to do in your life. Is to be committed to one person for the rest of your life. But it will open up the door to many doors you would never open by yourself unless you're meant to be alone. And you know you're meant to be alone if you're not having sex with somebody. You're a virgin. Point blank. Keep it real. If you're not a virgin and you still have sleeping around with people, then you're not meant to be alone. And you're not going to hit your full self unless you join with somebody that you keep earning for on the times when your flesh wants something. So you get committed.
You're cooking for a man that doesn't deserve that. And this is when I say, is he at least paying your bills? Because that's what a husband does.
He must at least, if you get something from a woman, you should not be in there just take it from a woman because you become a leecher, as we call him. Like you said, leeching. You're a freeload man. You get is one of your little 3-second little pumps or your little 5-minute pumps, and you think you the man. You got to be crazy, boy. We got to man up, man. You got to a man must earn respect. And yes, like I said, and I know that, I don't know if you see the thing, but yes, all women will submit to the man that they equally yoked to. That's what they're talking about. All women will submit to a man that she is equally yoked to, no matter the woman. She will submit. But you got to be equally yoked. And you got to be the man for her. A woman will humble herself down. So no. No matter the woman. Because a woman meant to connection. A woman earns for love. But when a man don't love her properly, she become untamable. If she can, sometimes she become untamable. That's why she's wild like that. Because she had not been tamed. But a cat, you can tame a cat. Them dogs, though. Them dogs, boy. Every time I took my dog, I didn't want to piss on every tree, man. Could never be tamed, man. I had to. If he was a boy dog too, boy. Boy, I said I don't like boy dogs. Give me a girl dog all day, man. I just don't like boy dogs, man. They piss everywhere. They be trying to hump everything. Girl dog, they nice, boy. You get them right. You get them girl dog. You treat the girl dog right. She good. She be loyal. She be loyal. But y'all keep up with them boy.
People are taking my words and putting their own remixes on them.
I didn't say
Why?
you said anything.
Because
You
you
didn't
hold
say.
that man
Talking to him,
accountable.
brother. It's okay, brother. It's okay, brother. I love you. Hey, bro, I love you, man.
No,
I love
you talking
Hey,
to
hold
him,
on.
but
So,
you
a
debating me.
lot of people,
Go ahead, Kamala.
honestly, talking to you now, I realize it's not even a debate. Because a lot of our basics are similar. A lot of the foundation of what me and him talk about is similar.
True.
It's just different angles from different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I understand his opinion. I see it, and I respect it. I respect it. Yeah, I think that might be my little brother right there. You never know.
That's cute. That's cute.
See, that's my favorite line too. That's
cute.
cute. That's my little brother. But all I'm saying, when I said the woman should date multiple men, I'm not saying cook for them. I'm not saying sleep with them. I'm saying if you're already in this mix, find out what's good for you. You don't have no children as of yet. Go ahead, enjoy yourself, but make sure a woman will never walk away from a man when she feels secure on each and every level.
And that's true, man. A woman will never walk away from a man if you handle your business on every level. Emotional, financial. You laying that thing right. A woman won't leave. A man will, but a woman won't leave. Because that's all a woman just want to be loved. And they want to be provided for. And sometimes they want, these new generation, they want trips too. But, and I see people, I talk about, they talk about, man, all these women don't want nothing. And all they is gold diggers. I said, man, y'all, and I look at y'all boys, I said, man, y'all got to be crazy. You out here posting pictures with big stacks of money. You got your little jewelry all on, you all big blinged up and stuff. Watches all up, you doing all this thing, you flashing cars, and you act like the woman ain't attracted to that shit. Say, oh yeah, I want that. You showing her the shiny objects, and you wonder why. See how women are like, yeah, we want that man. Gotta have some money because everybody, whether you got it or not, you got little scrubs on there flossing with big stack of money that they done held from somebody. So y'all putting a persona out there that y'all making money. Everybody putting this persona out there. You look on Instagram, everybody making money. That's why these women want money, because we put it out there, and then I look at y'all and I look at the generation now and I say, what do y'all is y'all thinking? What do y'all expect this woman to want when that's what you putting out there? You got your big stacks of money, boy. Y'all be big. Y'all got them big stacks of money too, boy. Ballers. Taking trips, we taking planes. Y'all taking trips on the jet. You got your little watch and you in the car and stuff, flexing and stuff. And you talking about that girl like, yeah, I want a man that makes 6 figures. Yeah, because everybody on Insta social media making money. And now the girl like, show me the money, baby. And now y'all mad. Y'all like, all they want is money. That's what you live with. That's what you live with. Don't leave with what you don't got. Stop stunting and fronting on him on these social media, man. Step it up, man. Show your real self, so a woman won't be confused that she thinks she gets some. Or y'all got you building yourself up too much. And then when the person asks you to show and prove, you're like, well, I ain't got that. That's what it really coming down to. You building yourself up, acting like y'all this and we big willies and stuff. And now these women out here like, yeah, you got to make 6 figures. You're like, well, we don't got 6 figures. We was just showing you that on social media just to. That's what I want to see.
His man stepped out of the fantasy.
Look, extremes. Now we saying that a woman will never walk away from a man if she feels secure.
Yeah. Like I said, yes.
Most women don't even know what they don't even feel like themselves after they have a child and they got postpartum.
Come on, brother.
No. Tell me it's not true.
No, you're right.
Most women don't even know what they feel like when they have postpartum. And a lot of times these women are leaving situations when a child is an infant, when they're young. So if we talking about feelings, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about purpose. See, love is not about.
You keep talking about, like I said, these women are leaving the situation. And I know people keep saying it because why? 70% of women file for divorce. That's because these women, they finally getting backs to leave a toxic situation that's unhealthy. Because if the woman is unhealthy, the child becomes unhealthy. So he keep. That's why I said that's all anti right. But I just don't agree that you keep talking about it's the woman leaving because she's just leaving. These women left because they could not handle the toxic situation, and God said, I want to grant you peace on earth. So they know that man wasn't God sent. They get with these men that are demons sent, devil sent because you didn't sent from God, and say God he will send you something, and there ain't gonna be no sorrow brought with it. So they get with these men. You want these women to stay in hell versus detached from that they're not even married to. They're not even bound to. They have no contract to. They just made a mistake, maybe got pregnant, got a baby, and you want these women to stay in awful situations. And yes, so like I said, he's right. Some women do leave without just feeling. But that goes for the man because the man the one to pick. The woman just to say, "Oh yeah, I accept you too," but the man don't want to pick. So, you should have picked right.
How you feel.
Right.
Love is what you do.
Yeah,
I agree.
And so it's an endurance test. Even the word of God.
Yeah, you're right. It's an endurance test when you get married. And here's the thing: the endurance can't just be on one side. That's what men want. Men want the woman to endure everything. They want to endure all the growing pain. They want the woman, and I know the woman is strong, man. I tell you, women, you out there strong, boy, you take a lot of stuff that a lot of men couldn't take. You women are strong, man. Women are strong. You stronger than men, man. I can't take no period, boy. Sometimes my baby girl, she was about to break down on the period. I can't take no period. Women are stronger than men, but they don't have to bear it all. They don't have to bear all the burden of the dysfunction.
The prize isn't given to the person that run the swift. It's
if you're not married, you don't have to do nothing. You made a mistake, take your mistake, live with your mistake, and move on. Dust yourself off, get yourself back together, find out the lesson that's in that season that you win, and move on. You're not bound to no man just because you had a child with that man out of wedlock. These men will try to mark you up like cattle, like in modern day slavery. Men like him want to mark a woman. They think, men have sex with all the women, and most of the women they don't even want. They just so freely and they so loose. They have no demeanor. They have no self control. They should put something quickly and try to mark you up, and then they act like they own you because they had a baby, but they don't want you. I can't stand men like that, man. And see, men like Anton condone men like that because he keeps saying men are victim. Man, you ain't no victim, man. You better go back home to your baby mama. Go back there and take care of your kids, man. You ain't no victim, man. You just need to step up. You just need to have self-control and step up and be the man of your house. Get back in your position. And everybody, like I said, everybody are a king in their own lane. Everybody is a king and queen in their own frame. Don't live outside of your means. Don't get unequally yoked to somebody you're not supposed to be yoked to.
Given to the person that endureth to the end. It's not a feeling.
Yeah.
You might feel some type of way right now. That's why the word says that you can't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yeah.
Because you then have to absolve for that. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be a completely different person.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not going off of feelings.
Yeah. But and I want to tell you, if you're not married to nobody, love is not forced, baby. Love is not, you don't force love. Love happens. You don't force love. When a man loves you, it's going to happen. And you're going to see it. And you're going to first see a man's love through what? His commitment. That's the first way a man show. I know that's the first way a man show his love is through commitment and devotion. That's the first way a man can show love. The first way a man shows love is commitment and devotion, man. You don't force love. You ain't got to force a relationship. That's your partner. That's your equal. You don't force it. It happens. Will it be?
I'm going based off.
Will it be all peaches and cream? Will it be a rough patch to get to that finish line? Oh yes, oh yes. But love and commitment, you don't got to force that. The two things that make a marriage work: love and commitment. And commitment means you're gonna go through the thick and thin with it, and you're gonna be right there here with me. You're not gonna run when things get hard. You're not gonna go cheat on me because I didn't give you none. You ain't get your way.
off of what is the current situation. And again, it's not about me, it's about the child. So you may feel a certain type of way right now, but we gonna work this out.
You work it out. If the man is willing to work it out with you and he haven't ran off and started a whole family, or he's not abusive, he's not toxic, and he's not an alcoholic, and he's somebody who's coachable too, because a man got to be coachable too, man. Like I said, he's not the one to say, I don't halt or listen to a voice of a woman. Because in order for a relationship to work, we both got to be teaching each other, man. I got to be coached just as well as my wife got to be coached, because I don't know everything, man. And my whole goal, if I'm with a woman, my whole goal is to love her. So I don't know how to love. Sometimes she got to tell me. Sometimes I make up. So sometimes we got to keep enforcing coaching each other. Like, no, babe, don't go let. That's too much. Go let. We got to do that. So both parties must be coachable to make the relationship work. It's not a one-sided thing. It's not just the woman's fault. It's not just the man's fault. But ultimately, like I can tell you, man, if my relationship lasted all these years and God hopefully grant us another 20, 30, 40 more years of marriage, then I know ultimately I'm going to be one of the main men, the main one to hold that thing together, man. And it's going to start with this one. Let me get back to it.
We not leaving. We not getting divorced again.
Yeah.
We going to use his extreme example of getting your head cracked in. Don't stick around when you're getting your head cracked in. But I'm speaking to the majority. Don't just leave just because you feel a certain type of way about
Ladies.
And as long as that man, like I said, not just abuse, but if the man can't learn how to respect you, if all he do is talk down to you, if he belittle you, if he treat you less than his equal, if that man treats you less than his equal or less than his mama, then that man don't love you. Now, once you tell a man, once you tell your partner what they doing wrong, if they not working towards that, even if you in marriage, they not working to grow and better the relationship, then that relationship has died. And you shouldn't have been married to the man no way, because y'all don't love each other. Now, I know things happen. I know that you might fight, like you said, but as long as they know, if none of that involved, like the man's not talking down to you, there's no abuse in there, and he respect you when y'all arguing and stuff, then you can work that thing out, man. A relationship, you argue every day. Things happen. You argue you might argue every other day, but things happen. You bringing two souls together. You bringing two individuals' perspective together, so there will be argument. But as long as no violence in there, as long as the man is not belittling you, putting you down, making you feel less of a woman, I think you can work it out. I got 10 more seconds, son.
If you feel unsafe.
Yeah, unsafe.
If this man is not leading you to the best version of your...
Yeah. And that's true, man. Because a man, your job is to lead the woman. If she does not have, now some women have their own, they got their own mind, they leading themselves. But most women are lost. They need a good man to come in there and lead them in the right direction, not tear them down and try to take what they can from them. So if you're a good man, don't go around taking it from a woman. Don't always be somebody who leads things better than where you came from, man. Don't, and I don't think don't happen, but don't leave. Don't burn no bridges when you leave, man. You couldn't. But y'all need to date safe out here in these streets, and men grow up, man up. Women, wise up. Don't let these men fool you, because you know, men, we can be deceitful. Something. Every man talked this woman out of draws. Every man talks woman out of draws. So you know we can be deceiving and con on her sometimes. But see, some people they got good intentions, some people got bad, and you can tell by how the relationship ended. What did they want? Did they want to just have sex, or they was trying to be committed and get in a relationship? If so, then you would be married. If not, then you probably got in a situation where that man just came and used you and took what he wanted, and now he no longer wants you. Or you might have been the cause of the effect, like Anton said, because both parties play a part. Maybe you weren't woman enough, maybe you didn't know how to communicate with him, and the man didn't know how to communicate with you. But either way, man, settle down, find you somebody, man, get self-control. Because that's when you begin to be a man. The more self-control you got, the more you establish your manhood. And then you become a servant to somebody else. Remember, you must first, if you want to be first, you must be last. and you must be of service to all. About all among, if you're gonna serve, I would rather you serve somebody young and the children because they're more precious to God than anybody else. So I hope this helps. And they had vision and go out there and build the life that you love, man. Let's go build.
Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time we're diving into a topic that I think is super relevant to all of us, especially nowadays, and that's those like contrasting views we see on modern relationships. Specifically when we start talking about, roles that things like money and responsibility play.
Right.
So we've got this like fascinating debate here between two relationship influencers, Anton and Yachty.
Okay.
And each of these guys has some pretty strong opinions.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, that they were both husbands and fathers, and they're leaders in their communities. When you read their takes on what a modern relationship should actually look like, they're actually pretty different.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how that shared background leads to some pretty contrasting views. And I think a really good place to just jump right in would be Yachty's like really bold statement that a man should be able to cover 100% of his partner's expenses. Yeah. And he even like goes as far as to call men who can't do that leeches.
Whoa,
Yeah.
strong words right out of the gate. So he seems to be like advocating for that very traditional model where the man is the sole provider, which is like a stark contrast to what Anton's saying.
Yeah.
Anton really emphasizes those mutual financial goals and building wealth together.
And Yachty even suggests that men have a duty to like release a woman from any need to provide and protect herself.
Interesting.
So it suggests that like power dynamic where the man takes on all responsibility for her well-being.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's a very different way of looking at things,
Yeah.
especially when you contrast it with Anton's approach, where both partners are like actively involved
Right.
in financial decisions and planning.
Yeah, it begs the question, what are the implications of each approach for individual autonomy and like shared responsibility?
Totally. And both speakers also bring age into the equation.
Okay.
So Yachty believes a man in his 20s is still in that like building phase, while a man in his 30s or 40s should like really have his finances sorted before getting into a serious relationship.
So then there's like this expectation
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
men to reach a certain level of like financial stability before they're even considered like relationship ready.
It aligns with that viewpoint
Yeah.
that the man should be the financial pillar in the relationship.
Makes you wonder though if that could lead to pressure on men to prioritize financial success
Yeah,
over other important aspects of personal development.
exactly. And that's where Yachty's next point gets really intriguing.
Okay.
He actually suggests that men should prioritize personal development and character building even before financial success.
Right.
He even goes on to say that a good woman won't make finances a rigid requirement for a relationship.
So now it's character over cash.
He's advocating for that more holistic view of a man's worth,
I like that.
where character and personal growth are just as important as financial stability.
Yeah.
It ties into his idea of couples being equally yoked.
Speaking of equally yoked, I think maybe we should clarify that term for our listener,
Oh, for sure.
just so everyone's on the same page.
Right.
So equally yoked is a term that's often used to describe partners who are like well matched,
Right.
especially when it comes to their spiritual beliefs and values.
Yeah, so in this context, Yachty seems to suggest that in an equally yoked relationship, both partners share similar values and are committed to growing together,
Okay.
both spiritually and personally.
So it's this idea then that a partner's character trumps their financial status, which I think is a refreshing perspective.
For sure.
It raises the question though, what truly makes someone an asset in a relationship?
Now that brings us to like a potentially controversial point.
Okay.
Yachty actually uses the term asset to refer to a woman.
I mean, I don't know about that word choice.
Right.
That type of language can be problematic.
Yes.
I mean, it kind of risks reducing a partner to a mere possession or a means to an end.
Right. It's important to acknowledge that a partner's value goes far beyond like any financial or practical contribution.
Absolutely.
It's about the unique qualities and skills and perspectives that they bring to the relationship.
It seems like Anton shares this sentiment.
Yeah.
He criticizes blaming women for relationship problems, and he even brings up the Adam and Eve story
Wow.
to illustrate the need for men to step up, take responsibility, and control their desires.
His perspective challenges those traditional gender roles,
Totally.
where the woman is often seen as like the source of temptation.
Oh, well-
or the one responsible for relationship issues.
Right. He's calling for a shift in mindset
Exactly.
where men acknowledge their own agency and take ownership of their actions.
And this leads him to bring up a rather startling statistic.
Okay.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are initiated by women?
It's a big number.
It's often cited, but it's important to delve deeper.
Yeah.
Like, what are the societal factors that might contribute to this?
Right. Are women truly the driving force behind most divorces?
Exactly. Or are there like deeper issues at play?
It's something to think about, for sure.
It's complex.
Yeah. And it's also fascinating how both speakers reference their Christian faith to support their views.
Yes, that's a great observation.
Anton believes marriage is a means to prevent sin and leads to a higher purpose. And then Yadi emphasizes serving others as a mark of true leadership.
Right.
He even references a Bible verse about humility from the Gospel of Mark.
So their faith provides like a framework
Yeah.
for how they approach relationships.
And it really highlights the influence of personal beliefs and values
Absolutely.
on our relationship choices.
Definitely. We've covered a lot of ground already. I'm sure you have some thoughts brewing. What's resonating with you so far?
I mean, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
A lot to think about.
For sure. Yeah, it's fascinating how both of them like weave their faith into their views on relationships.
Right.
Anton seems to see marriage as like a path to righteousness,
Mhm.
like a way to avoid sin and fulfill some like divine purpose.
Right. And then on the flip side, Yadi seems to be focusing more on service and humility as the hallmarks of a true leader,
Right.
especially in the context of a relationship.
Exactly. It makes you think about how different interpretations of faith
Yeah,
can lead to different relationship ideals.
for sure. And, you know, I remember how Yadi talked about financial stability being like super crucial for men in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, he even used that kind of harsh term leech
Right.
for those who couldn't fully provide at that stage.
Which seems to underscore his belief in that traditional provider role of a man.
Exactly.
But then it's interesting how Anton pushes back on this idea. He challenges this notion of placing all the blame on women
Yeah.
for relationship problems.
It's like he's calling out a sort of Adam and Eve mentality where the woman is seen as the temptress or the root cause of like all these issues.
Yeah.
He advocates for a more balanced perspective where both partners share responsibility.
And that ties in beautifully with his perspective on finances too.
Exactly.
Remember how he talked about building wealth together as like a bonding experience?
Yes.
Especially for younger couples.
It suggests that partnership,
Yeah.
where both individuals contribute and support each other.
It's a more egalitarian approach that challenges that traditional provider-dependent dynamic.
For sure. And it raises an interesting point about like the evolving roles
Right.
of men and women in modern relationships.
It makes you wonder if we're moving toward a model
Right.
where both partners contribute equally, or if those deep-seated beliefs about traditional gender roles are still like prevalent.
It's a complex issue
Oh yeah.
with like societal and cultural nuances.
Totally.
What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Like there's definitely a shift towards those more equal partnerships,
Mhm.
but I think those echoes of the traditional roles can still be felt
Yeah,
in certain expectations and beliefs.
for sure.
It's almost like we're navigating a transition between those two models.
And navigating that transition can lead to some interesting contradictions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Remember how Yadi said a good woman wouldn't make finances a rigid requirement?
Right.
It seems to contradict his earlier emphasis on men being the sole providers.
It does seem like a bit of a mixed message there.
Right.
It's almost like he's saying that while he values that traditional provider role, he also recognizes the importance of shared values and connection
Yes.
over material wealth.
It's almost as if he's saying, if she's only with you for your money, then she's not the right one.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a fascinating layer to his perspective. Makes you wonder if he's trying to reconcile those traditional views with a more modern understanding of relationships.
Perhaps he's acknowledging that while financial stability is important,
Right.
it shouldn't be the sole factor in choosing a partner.
It reminds me of how both speakers drew on their Christian faith
Yes.
to support their arguments. You know, Anton viewed marriage as a way to prevent sin and fulfill a higher purpose.
Right.
Yadi emphasized serving others as a mark of true leadership, even quoting that passage from Mark where Jesus talks about humility.
It's a great reminder that faith and personal values play a huge role in shaping our relationship ideals.
Huge, yeah.
These beliefs can influence how we approach commitment responsibility and what we seek in a partner.
It also makes you think about how different belief systems
Right.
might inform people's choices and behaviors within their relationships.
Absolutely. And let's not forget Anton's strong stance on men taking responsibility.
Right.
He seemed quite frustrated with that tendency to blame women for relationship issues.
Yeah, it was almost a call to action for men to step up and own their actions, especially when it comes to commitment.
And he highlighted that statistic.
Oh, yeah.
About 70% of divorces being initiated by women.
Do you think he's implying that men are often the ones who fail to fully commit?
It's possible he's suggesting that men's reluctance to commit might be a contributing factor to relationship breakdowns. But of course, we have to remember that statistics like that need careful interpretation.
Right.
There could be many reasons why more women initiate divorce.
It's a complex issue
Exactly.
that likely involves societal expectations, power dynamics, and individual circumstances.
And it's important not to jump to conclusions based on a single statistic.
For sure.
But going back to Anton, his call for men to step up raises an important question.
Okay.
What does it really mean for a man to step up in a modern relationship? Is it purely about financial stability, or is there more to it?
I think Anton is advocating for a more holistic approach.
Okay.
It's not just about providing financially, it's about being emotionally present, taking responsibility for your actions, and being a true partner in all aspects of the relationship.
I agree. It seems to be about emotional maturity, self-awareness, and a willingness to contribute to the relationship's well-being on multiple levels.
Right. It also brings up this idea of personal growth.
Yes.
Both speakers seem to agree that personal development is key, even if they have different ideas about what that entails.
Yadi emphasized character development and spiritual growth,
Right.
while Anton seemed to focus more on emotional intelligence and self-awareness.
But both perspectives underscore the importance of constantly striving to become a better version of yourself.
It ties back to that idea that you can't pour from an empty cup.
I like that.
You need to take care of yourself and cultivate your own growth in order to be a strong and supportive partner.
Exactly. And that growth can take many forms: emotional, spiritual, intellectual, or even financial.
Right.
It's about identifying areas where you can improve and actively working on those areas.
It's about recognizing that personal development is an ongoing journey, not a destination. And that journey can be even more fulfilling when you have a partner who supports and encourages your growth.
And speaking of support, Yadi also touched on the importance of men supporting their partner's dreams and aspirations.
Yes, he encouraged men to be their partner's biggest cheerleaders
I love that.
and to provide practical support when needed.
It suggests a partnership where both individuals feel empowered to pursue their passions and goals,
Exactly.
knowing they have a supportive partner by their side.
It ties into that idea of creating a power couple dynamic where both individuals are striving for success and fulfillment,
Yeah.
both individually and as a unit.
It's about celebrating each other's wins and providing comfort and support during setbacks.
It's about being a true team working together towards shared goals and aspirations.
And while Yadi focused on support,
Yeah,
Anton brought up the equally important element of compromise.
right. He emphasized that compromise is crucial for any successful relationship.
It's about recognizing that you're not always going to get your way and being willing to meet your partner halfway.
It's about putting the needs of the relationship above your own ego.
It requires clear communication
Yes.
and a willingness to express your needs and listen to your partner's needs.
Absolutely. Communication is key. It's the foundation of any successful partnership. And good communication involves not only expressing your own thoughts and feelings, but also being receptive to your partner's perspective.
It's about creating a safe space where both partners feel comfortable sharing their joys, concerns, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment.
It's about fostering a sense of trust and mutual understanding.
And that trust is built on honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to be open with each other.
Right. It's about recognizing that even when disagreements arise, you can navigate those challenges with respect and understanding,
For sure.
seeking to find a resolution that strengthens the relationship.
It's about seeing conflict as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to the relationship.
Exactly. And speaking of growth, Anton made a really insightful point about men needing to confront their own commitment issues. He seemed to believe that a lot of relationship problems stem from men's fear of intimacy
Right.
and reluctance to fully commit.
He was challenging men to do some serious introspection, to be honest with themselves about their motivations, and to address any emotional barriers that might be hindering their ability to commit fully.
It's about recognizing those ingrained patterns that might be holding you back from experiencing true connection and intimacy.
It's about having the courage to be vulnerable, to open your heart, and to embrace the potential for deep, lasting love.
It's about showing up fully in your relationships, even when it feels scary or uncomfortable.
It's about making a conscious with all its joys and challenges.
And that effort can take many forms. Yachty, for instance, emphasized the importance of men taking care of their physical and mental health.
Oh, that's so important.
He encouraged men to engage in activities that nourish their bodies and minds, like exercise, healthy eating, and spending time in nature.
It's about recognizing that your well-being is essential, not just for yourself,
Right.
but also for the health of your relationship.
It's about taking responsibility for your own self-care so that you can show up as the best version of yourself for your partner and for your family.
It's about making choices that support your longevity and vitality.
It's about understanding that self-care isn't selfish. It's an act of love, both for yourself and for those you care about.
And while taking care of your physical health is important, and highlighted the often overlooked aspect of emotional intimacy.
Yes, he pointed out that many men struggle with this.
Right.
Often due to societal expectations that teach them to suppress their emotions.
Yeah, it's as if they've been conditioned to avoid vulnerability and to hide their true feelings.
Exactly. And Anton was encouraging men to challenge those norms.
Right.
And to embrace their full emotional range.
It's about recognizing that emotions are not a weakness, but a natural part of being human.
It's about being comfortable expressing your emotions in a healthy and authentic way.
It's about creating a space in your relationship where both partners feel safe to be vulnerable and to share their inner world without fear of judgment.
It's about recognizing that emotional intimacy is a key ingredient for a truly fulfilling and connected relationship.
And that intimacy can be fostered through open and honest communication, which Yachty also emphasized.
Yes, he encouraged couples to create a safe space where they can share their thoughts, feelings, and needs without fear of judgment or rejection.
It's about creating a culture of open communication where both partners feel heard and understood.
It's about being willing to listen deeply to your partner.
Yes.
And to express yourself clearly and respectfully.
It's about recognizing that communication is a two-way street, requiring both active listening and thoughtful expression.
And sometimes that communication involves setting boundaries, which Yachty also highlighted.
Okay.
He encouraged men to be clear about their limits and to communicate those limits to their partners.
It's about recognizing that having healthy boundaries is essential for protecting your own energy and well-being.
It's about understanding that saying no is sometimes necessary,
Right.
even if it means disappointing someone you care about.
It's about creating a healthy balance between giving and receiving in the relationship.
It's about ensuring that your own needs are being met while also being considerate of your partner's needs.
It's about creating a dynamic where both partners feel respected and valued.
And while setting boundaries is important, Anton emphasized the need for men to take responsibility for their own happiness. He seemed to believe that men often make the mistake of expecting their partners to make them happy.
He was encouraging men to cultivate their own sources of joy and fulfillment outside of their relationships.
It's about recognizing that your happiness is ultimately your own responsibility.
It's about bringing your whole self to the relationship with all your passions and interests rather than expecting your partner to complete you.
It's about being a source of light and inspiration in the relationship,
I like that.
rather than a drain on your partner's energy.
It's about creating a dynamic where both partners feel energized and inspired by each other.
And that energy can be further amplified when you're truly present in the relationship, which Yachty also highlighted.
Being present is so important.
He encouraged men to be fully engaged when they're with their partners.
It's about putting away your phone, making eye contact, and truly listening to what your partner is saying.
It's about being mindful and present in the moment.
It's about demonstrating that you value your partner's time and attention.
It's about creating a space where you can connect on a deeper level.
It's about being present not just physically,
Right.
but only and mentally.
And while being present is essential, Anton reminded us of the importance of appreciation.
Oh yeah.
He encouraged men to express their gratitude and admiration for their partners regularly.
It's about noticing the little things that your partner does and acknowledging their efforts and contributions.
It's about making your partner feel seen, heard, and appreciated.
It's about reinforcing the positive aspects of the relationship.
It's about cultivating a culture of appreciation and gratitude.
It's about letting your partner know how much you value them and how much they mean to you.
And sometimes that appreciation can be expressed through acts of romance, which Yachty also emphasized.
keep the romance alive.
He encouraged men to woo and romance their partners, to plan special dates, to give thoughtful gifts, and to express their love in creative ways.
It's about keeping the spark alive.
It's about making your partner feel special and cherished.
It's about reminding your partner why you fell in love in the first place.
It's about putting in the effort to keep the romance alive after years of being together.
And while romance is wonderful, it's equally important to be there for your partner during times of difficulty, which Anton highlighted.
Yes, he encouraged men to be supportive when their partners are going through tough times.
It's about offering a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and practical help when needed.
It's about being a source of strength and comfort.
It's about showing your partner that you're there for them no matter what.
It's about weathering life's storms together.
It's about being a true partner.
And while being supportive during difficult times is crucial, Yachty also emphasized the importance of respecting your partner's boundaries even during those tough times.
Yeah, I think that's often overlooked.
He encouraged men to honor their partner's needs for space and time alone.
It's about understanding that everyone needs time to recharge and decompress, especially when they're feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
It's about communicating clearly about your own needs and being understanding when your partner needs to take some time for themselves.
It's about respecting your partner's autonomy and creating a healthy balance between togetherness and independence.
It's about fostering a sense of mutual trust and respect.
It's about understanding that giving your partner space can sometimes be the most loving thing you can do.
And while respecting boundaries is important, Anton reminded us that relationships are also opportunities for growth and learning.
That's a great point.
He encouraged men to be open to feedback from their partners and to be willing to change their behavior when necessary.
It's about viewing your relationship as a journey of self-discovery and personal development.
It's about being humble and teachable.
It's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers and that you can learn and grow from your partner.
It's about being willing to admit when you're wrong and to make amends when necessary.
It's about being open to feedback and using it to become a better partner.
And while personal growth is important, Yachty also highlighted the importance of gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
He encouraged men to take the time to appreciate all the wonderful qualities that their partners bring to the relationship.
It's about expressing your gratitude regularly and making your partner feel loved and valued.
It's about recognizing the gift that your partner is.
It's about not taking your relationship for granted.
It's about cultivating a spirit of gratitude and appreciation.
It's about making a conscious effort to notice and appreciate all the good things that your partner brings to your life.
And finally, Anton reminded us that relationships are a two-way street.
Right. It's about both partners contributing equally to the health and success of the relationship.
It's about being mindful of your partner's needs and making an effort to create a balanced and harmonious dynamic.
It's about working together as a team.
It's about creating a partnership where both individuals feel loved, respected, and fulfilled.
It's about building a life together that feels joyful, meaningful, and aligned with your shared values.
Wow, we've really unpacked a lot in this deep dive.
Anton and Yachty certainly sparked a lot of thought-provoking ideas about what it means to be a man in a modern relationship.
They both presented strong arguments, often with contrasting viewpoints.
Right.
But they both seem to share a common goal.
Yeah.
Helping men navigate the complexities of relationships and become better partners.
Yeah. We've explored the roles of finances, faith, personal development, communication, compromise, and so much more.
And it's clear that there's no single right way to approach relationships.
Right.
What works for one couple might not work for another.
Right.
It's all about finding what resonates with you and your partner and creating a dynamic that feels authentic and fulfilling.
You know, as we're kind of wrapping up here, it's fascinating to see how those two perspectives intersect and diverge. One thing that really stood out to me was how much emphasis both Anton and Yachty put on personal responsibility.
Oh, absolutely.
It seemed to be like a recurring theme throughout all their arguments.
Or whether they were talking about finances, emotional maturity, or even spiritual growth, both of them really emphasize that men need to take ownership of their actions and choices.
It's about stepping up and becoming the best version of yourself, not just for your partner, but for yourself as well.
Exactly.
And, you know, this ties back to what we were discussing earlier about those shifting we see in modern relationships. Are we moving toward like a more egalitarian model Or are traditional gender roles still influencing our expectations?
I think it's a complex blend of both.
Yeah?
We're seeing a clear shift towards more balanced partnerships where both individuals contribute and share responsibilities.
Right.
But the echoes of those traditional roles can still be heard.
It's like we're navigating a transition, figuring out how to integrate those evolving roles with our own personal values and beliefs.
Exactly, and that navigation can be tricky.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Remember how Yachty, despite advocating for men as providers, also said that a good woman wouldn't make finances like a rigid requirement.
It did seem to contradict his earlier points.
It did.
It was almost as if he was trying to reconcile that traditional view of men as providers
Right.
with a more modern understanding of what partnership really looks like.
Yeah, he seems to recognize that a truly strong relationship needs a foundation built on shared values, mutual respect, and a deep emotional connection.
Right, not just financial stability.
Exactly.
It highlights how nuanced these discussions can be.
Mm.
Even within one person's perspective, there can be seemingly contradictory elements.
For sure, it reminds us that these issues aren't always black and white.
And, that complexity was really apparent when you were talking about financial responsibility.
Yes.
Yachty was very firm in his belief that men should be able to cover 100% of their partner's expenses, even using that term leech for those who couldn't. Anton, on the other hand, championed the idea of shared financial responsibility as a way to empower both partners.
Their differing views reflect those larger societal debates about gender roles and financial independence.
Yachty seems to lean toward a more traditional model, where the man is the financial protector.
While Anton advocates for a more egalitarian approach where both partners contribute and share the burden.
Makes you wonder if their personal experiences and the communities they're a part of play a role in shaping those views.
Oh, absolutely. Our upbringing, cultural background, and personal experiences often inform our beliefs about relationships and gender roles.
It's a reminder that there are multiple valid perspectives on these issues.
For sure.
And, amidst those varying perspectives, both Anton and Yachty brought up their Christian faith as a guiding principle in their approach to relationships. Anton saw marriage as a way to prevent sin and fulfill a divine purpose, while Yachty emphasized serving others as a mark of true leadership.
Their faith clearly provides a framework for their relationship values, shaping their beliefs about commitment, responsibility, and the roles of men and women.
It really underscores how deeply those personal beliefs can influence our relationship choices and behaviors.
For sure, it also prompts us to consider how other belief systems, whether religious or secular, might influence someone's approach to relationships.
Right. There's so much diversity in how people perceive and navigate these complexities.
Absolutely. It's a vast and fascinating landscape of human experience.
And speaking of diverse perspectives, and Anton for challenging that tendency to blame women for relationship problems.
Oh, yeah.
He pushed back against that Adam and Eve mentality where the woman is often seen as the source of temptation or the root cause of issues.
Yeah, he really advocated for men to take responsibility, own their actions, and control their desires.
And that led to him bringing up that statistic that 70% of divorces are initiated.
Yes, and while that statistic might seem to support the idea that men are shirking commitment, it's crucial to remember that statistics need careful interpretation.
Yeah.
There are many potential factors contributing to that trend.
For sure.
It could be related to societal expectations, evolving gender roles, or even the fact that women are statistically more likely to experience emotional or financial strain within a marriage.
It's a complex issue that can't be reduced to a single statistic.
Exactly. We need to look at the broader context, consider different perspectives, and avoid making sweeping generalizations.
But that particular statistic is debatable. Anton's overall message about men taking responsibility really resonates.
It's a call for men to step up, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually as well.
It's about becoming a fully integrated and mature individual, capable of engaging in a healthy and balanced partnership.
Exactly. It's about being a true partner, supporting your partner's growth, communicating effectively, respecting boundaries, and nurturing the connection you share.
It's a journey of continuous learning and growth.
For sure.
What a fantastic deep dive this has been.
It really has.
We've explored so many thought-provoking ideas about modern relationships, masculinity, and the evolving dynamics between partners.
There's certainly no shortage of food for thought.
I'm sure our listener has plenty to ponder after hearing these contrasting perspectives.
And that's the beauty of these deck dives. They encourage us to question our assumptions, consider different viewpoints, and engage in meaningful about our own relationships and values.
So as you continue to navigate your own relationship journey, remember the key takeaways from this deep dive. the importance of personal ability, the evolving